How do you cope at your interview when you are asked, "Tell me about yourself"? Hi, I'm Nigel Gordon-Johnson, the career strategist and talent acquisition specialist. This question seems so innocuous. How on earth can this be a difficult question to answer? I know all about myself and what I've done. Surely this is my chance to shine and blow them away with all the great achievements in my life. I have so much to say. Easy, right? Wrong. This is invariably one of the first questions you can be asked, and the one where you can ruin your interview before you have even started. But why would the interviewer ask this? Usually, interviewers ask this as a soft way of starting the interview, almost like a non-threatening soft question to get everyone settled into the routine of an interview. The interviewer will think that they are helping to settle your nerves with an unimportant question to start the interview off. They think that the answer is fairly irrelevant and they sort of know the answer anyway, as they've reviewed your resume and LinkedIn profile. What they invariably get is a 10-minute sermon tabling all your great achievements. I used to ask this question myself when I started interviewing and realized fairly quickly that it is one of the worst questions to start with. I knew I was in for a long answer when the candidate would say, "Let me start with what I studied at university." I'd glance back down at the resume and realize there was a lot achieved since they were at university, and as such, I was in for the long haul. I would then be thinking of ways to interrupt the candidate and move them away from my poor choice of opening question. No matter how bad of a question it is to start an interview, be prepared, because you will be asked this question at every single job interview you will ever attend for the rest of your life. As you may have gathered, giving a long-winded answer is not going to cut it, I'm afraid. This is where you need to work out your elevator pitch. You may have heard of this expression, but what does it mean practically for you? An elevator pitch was coined based on the assumption that you meet the biggest potential client or connection or potential new boss as you step into an elevator and have them all to yourself until you get out at the top of the building. You only have that long to make a great first impression. But what does this mean in real time? 30 seconds. I may even give you 40 seconds, but 30 seconds is the nirvana. You may think that this is far too short, but believe me, you can say a lot in just 30 seconds. If the Japanese can make an art form out of haiku, the poetic art of saying so much in just 17 syllables, then you can absolutely nail a 30-second answer to this question. The key is to think about what you are doing. How can you add value to the business that you are interviewing at? List those skills that you have and what you achieved over your career or your education. Brainstorm this. Start out with a long list of your highlights and then start editing it down. Bullet point them. You should have anywhere between 6 to a dozen bullet points. I then want you to slightly expand on each one and write them next to the bullet point. You then have a basic script. Now, get your stopwatch out. You'll have one on your phone. Time yourself as you read this out. I imagine that it will be well over a minute if you are like most people, which will come as somewhat of a shock. Your aim now is to reduce this down to 30 seconds. It can be done. Have patience and think about what are the key points that you want to make. Think about what you would say to somebody you met at a party or the pub, we will be back there at some point, who has never met you before. It should be so easy to remember, so much so that that person could accurately tell anyone else they met who you are and what you do. Now you have refined your message to around 30 seconds, you need to start practicing. And the best way you can do this is by recording yourself. Use the video player on your mobile phone and review how you sound and how you look when you deliver this. As this is a question that you will almost always be asked, getting this rehearsed so well that it comes naturally to you will put you in the driving seat of your interview. This question will be right at the start of your interview, so you will be making a great first impression. Here are the key points to remember. This is your elevator pitch. Keep it to 30 seconds in length. Think about how you add value to the company you are interviewing at. Be succinct with memorable statements. And practice makes perfect. You should be able to deliver this message to anyone at any time. Now, here are the areas to avoid. Do not feel tempted to make your answer longer than 45 seconds. This is not story time. Don't tell a long, boring story. Try not to crack jokes. You want to set the right impression right at the first start. Don't feel like you can just wing it. You need to practice. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. For a free copy of my latest book, How to Find a Job in a Pandemic, then click the link in the comments and get instant access. If you enjoyed this video, then please do hit the like button and click to subscribe for more content about securing a job, performing at interview, and negotiating your salary.